General Motors has been falling behind in the truck world. Ford's rolling out cutting-edge updates. Ram's coming in hot with new engines and more tech. Meanwhile, the Silverado's been kind of stuck, and the 2026 model doesn't change that. Now, there's buzz building about 2027 season. Something's on the horizon that could finally push the Silverado 1500 back into serious contender territory. Until then, what we've got is another year of the same old formula, and no real reason to jump in. If you've been eyeing a new pickup, it might be smarter to wait it out. Here are 4 huge reasons why the 2026 model just isn't worth your money, and why it's better to wait for the 2027 Silverado 1500. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Number 1. The lifter problem isn't going away yet. If you've been an owner of any GM truck in the past few years, you've definitely heard the word lifters a few too many times, and not in a good way. The current generation Silverado 1500, especially models running V8 units, has been plagued by recurring lifter issues. What's happening? In short, the lifters can fail prematurely, leading to ticking noises, misfires, or, in worst cases, full-on engine damage. And once you're out of warranty, you're looking at a repair bill that can easily creep into 4-digit territory. Some owners are lucky and never deal with it, but for others, it hits early and hard. It's been a sore spot GM hasn't fully addressed for years now, and a big reason why a lot of buyers are walking and ending up in F-150s, Rams, or Tundras instead. The frustrating part is that the 2026 Silverado 1500 doesn't bring a real fix. Same engines, same tech, and same potential headaches. But here's the good news. Word is, the 2027 model is finally addressing this. We'll see how, but before that, let's move on to next reason why skip 2026 model and wait for the full overhaul. Number 2. Cylinder deactivation system. GM calls it dynamic fuel management. Sounds slick, but in practice, it's another reason some owners are starting to lose patience with the current Silverado. The idea behind the cylinder deactivation system is solid. Shut down some cylinders when you don't need full power, save some fuel, and make the V8 a little more eco-friendly. But execution. This tech is causing long-term reliability issues. On the 2026 Silverado 1500, you're still dealing with DFM tied into the same V8 engines. And for a lot of drivers, that means an unpredictable engine feel, rough transitions when the system kicks in and out, and wear on lifters and camshafts that just shouldn't happen this early. You get odd vibrations, strange shifts, and sometimes even check engine lights that trace back to this system trying to do too much and too often. Worse, the savings at the pump aren't that impressive anymore. With Turbo 4s and hybrids offering better MPG without the mechanical drama, this system feels like a compromise that benefits GM more than the driver. One of the solutions is to deactivate DFM with a disabler, but a more convenient way is to wait for the 2027 Silverado. Here's why. Number 3. New V8 engine. The big headline: GM is investing $888 million into building brand new V8 powertrains. That's no small move, and for longtime Chevy fans, it's a glimmer of hope. But let's be honest, faith in GM's engines isn't what it used to be. Years of lifter failures, DFM issues, and inconsistent reliability have left a bad taste. And even with a brand new unit on the way, there's still one huge question hanging in the air. Is General Motors going to drag dynamic fuel management into this new chapter too? Because if they do, it's just slapping old problems onto new hardware. Plenty of fans are already raising red flags. They're saying loud and clear, if GM doesn't drop the flawed tech, even a new powertrain won't be enough to win back trust. And they're not wrong. A clean sheet V8 is great on paper, but it's going to take more than press releases and factory upgrades to undo years of frustration. The company can't afford to swing and miss this time. If they mess this up, they're not just risking another rough sales year, they're putting a whole Silverado nameplate on the line. Number 4. Better build quality. Here's something that isn't getting enough attention. Import tariffs are about to change the way trucks are built. And that's actually good news. at least for Silverado fans hoping for a sturdier, more reliable pickup. Most automakers source a good chunk of its parts from abroad, especially from China in GM's case. Those days are winding down with new tariffs and rising costs that put the pressure on the supply chain, and that's pushing General Motors to rethink where it builds and how. The company is looking to bring more production and assembly back to U.S. soil for the next Gen 2027 Silverado 1500. That means higher standards, tighter tolerances, and better control over quality. You can't understate what that could mean. If parts like lifters are finally built with the consistency and durability they should have had from the start, we are looking at a major turnaround. Now, sure, GM still has to prove they won't cut corners. There's always temptation to maximize margins, even if it means sacrificing long-term trust. But if they get this right, and the 2027 Silverado is truly built here, built better, it could be a game changer. It's a chance to put out a truck that feels solid, dependable, and all-American again. The kind of Silverado that earns loyalty, not just leases. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.